Over 68% of engine failures in America happen to cars that were never skipping maintenance. Think about that. You changed the oil on time. You replaced the filters. You did everything the manual told you. And your engine still died early, costing you $4,000 to $7,000 in repairs. Here is what nobody in the industry wants you to figure out. Your engine isn't failing because of age. It's failing because of data. Bad data. Corrupt signals being sent to your car's brain by sensors that cost less than a cup of coffee to fix, if you know what to look for. Right now, while you are driving to work feeling completely normal, there could be a sensor the size of your thumb feeding your ECU completely wrong information. No check engine light. No warning. Just quietly robbing 30% of your horsepower and adding $80 to your monthly fuel bill. The worst part? The shop already knows. They count on you not knowing. Today, we are going through the 8 most dangerous sensors that mechanics exploit for profit, and the exact cleaning methods that can save you thousands. But pay close attention, because the most destructive sensor, the one responsible for more unnecessary engine replacements than any other, comes last. Number 8. Mass airflow sensor. Your engine needs to mix air and fuel in a very precise ratio. Too much air and it runs lean and overheats. Too much fuel and it runs rich, chokes, and destroys your catalytic converter. The mass airflow sensor is the only component standing between a perfect mixture and an expensive disaster. It uses a wire thinner than a human hair, literally, heated to a precise temperature. When air flows past it, the wire cools down. The ECU measures how much power it takes to reheat that wire, and from that single calculation, it knows exactly how much air is entering your engine. Now imagine that wire gets coated in the tiniest film of dust or oil vapor. The sensor can't feel the air properly anymore. It starts lying to your computer. Your engine either floods with excess fuel or starves for it, and neither scenario is cheap. What does your dealership tell you? New MAF sensor. $200 to $400. The actual fix. A $9 can of MAF sensor cleaner. Unplug the sensor. 3 sprays. Air dry for 20 minutes. Done. 40% of MAF-related fault codes disappear with nothing more than that. Number 7. MAP sensor. Not every vehicle uses a mass airflow sensor. Millions of American trucks and older performance cars use a MAP sensor instead, manifold absolute pressure. Rather than measuring airflow directly, it reads the vacuum pressure inside your intake manifold and lets the ECU reverse calculate how much air is entering the cylinders. The sensor itself rarely fails. What fails are the vacuum hoses connected to it, thin rubber lines that bake in engine heat for years until they crack just enough to leak. A pinhole crack you cannot see with the naked eye can drop your vacuum reading by 20%, causing the computer to dump excess fuel into every cylinder. The symptom is textbook: black smoke from the exhaust, terrible mileage, and a fuel smell you cannot explain. Shops diagnose it as a sensor failure and charge you $150 to $250. The real fix is a $2 vacuum hose from AutoZone and 15 minutes of your time. Number 6. Oxygen sensor. Downstream from your engine, inside the exhaust stream, your oxygen sensors are working every second of every drive, sampling combustion gases and reporting back to the ECU thousands of times per minute. At the perfect air-fuel ratio, this sensor produces exactly 0.45 volts. Go lean, the voltage drops. Go rich, it climbs. That feedback loop is what keeps your fuel economy stable and your emissions clean. But here is what poisons them: cheap gasoline, burning oil, and silicone contaminants from poorly installed gaskets. Over time, these coat the sensing element and slow its response time. It doesn't fail completely, it just gets lazy. And a lazy oxygen sensor means your ECU is always chasing a target it cannot hit, burning 10 to 15% more fuel in the process. A shop will quote you $180 to $300 per sensor. Before you pay that, try this first: remove the sensor and soak the tip in clean gasoline overnight. This dissolves most contamination and restores response time. Many mechanics in independent shops do this as their first step and charge you nothing extra. Number 5. Throttle position sensor. Every time your right foot moves, the throttle position sensor translates that movement into a voltage signal, from 0.5 volts at idle to 4.5 volts at full throttle. The ECU reads that signal and decides how aggressively to deliver fuel and advance ignition timing. When the resistive track inside wears down, it develops dead spots. These almost always happen at the exact throttle position you use most, usually around 30 to 40%, right where you cruise on the highway. The symptom feels like a transmission problem or a misfire. Your car hesitates, stumbles, or momentarily cuts power at one specific pedal position. Mechanics love this symptom because it is genuinely confusing. The honest diagnostic: plug in a scan tool, watch the TPS voltage live, and slowly open the throttle by hand with the engine off. A healthy sensor climbs smoothly. A failing one will spike or drop at the bad spot. Cleaning the connector and checking for wiring damage fixes this more than half the time without touching the sensor itself. Number 4. Crankshaft Position Sensor. This sensor is your engine's heartbeat monitor. It reads the position of every piston and the exact rotational speed of the crankshaft, and from that data, the ECU times every single fuel injection and every single spark event. When metal shavings or burnt oil residue build up on the magnetic tip of this sensor, the signal it produces gets distorted. Your timing drifts. The engine misfires intermittently, stalls when hot, or cranks for 3 to 4 seconds before it finally starts. Shops see this and say timing chain or fuel pump. Sometimes both. That is a $1,500 to $3,500 conversation. The first step any experienced mechanic takes: wipe the sensor tip clean with electrical contact cleaner and a lint-free cloth. 5 minutes. If that stabilizes the symptoms, you just saved yourself from a very expensive misdiagnosis. Number 3. Engine coolant temperature sensor. Your ECU does not have eyes. It cannot see your engine heating up. It relies entirely on the coolant temperature sensor to know whether to run a cold start fuel enrichment cycle, when to activate the radiator fans, and when the engine has reached its optimal operating temperature. When this sensor's terminals corrode, and they do, especially in humid climates across the southeast and midwest, the ECU starts guessing. If it thinks the engine is always cold, it keeps dumping excess fuel and your mileage tanks. If it fails to report rising heat, your cooling fans never kick on. Warped cylinder heads from overheating cost $3,000 to $4,500 to repair. The corrupted terminal that caused it? Cleaned with a soft brush and electrical contact cleaner in under 10 minutes. Always work with a completely cold engine on this one. The cooling system is pressurized and the fluid is scalding. Number 2. Intake air temperature sensor. Cold air is dense. Dense air holds more oxygen. More oxygen means the ECU can inject more fuel and generate more power. Hot, thin air does the opposite. The intake air temperature sensor measures this constantly and adjusts fuel delivery in real time. When it gets coated in oil residue from a well-used engine, its readings drift, sometimes by 40 to 50 degrees. The ECU thinks it is injecting the right amount of fuel. It is not. The result is that infuriating inconsistency. Runs great Tuesday. Runs terrible Thursday. No codes. No pattern you can explain. Clean this sensor the same way you clean the MAF, sensor-safe electronic cleaner only. No compressed air. No brushes. The element is fragile enough that a blast of air can damage it permanently. Number 1. Electrical connectors and terminals. Here is the truth that no service department in America wants printed on a billboard. Brand new sensors will not fix a car with corroded connectors. Every sensor we have discussed sends its signal through a wiring harness. If those connectors have oxidation, moisture, or loose terminals, the signal degrades before it even reaches the ECU. The computer sees a problem. It throws a code. You pay for a part you did not need. A $5 wire brush, a can of electrical contact cleaner, and dielectric grease on the seals. That is the toolkit. That is what resolves no-start complaints that shops were about to charge $900 to diagnose. Work one connector at a time. Release the lock. Inspect the pins. If you see green corrosion or white crystalline buildup, you found your issue. Clean both sides of the connector. Let it dry. Apply dielectric grease around the rubber seal, never directly on the pins. Reconnect. This single step clears more intermittent codes and random warning lights than any parts replacement ever will. You now know what the shops know, and what they are counting on you never learning. 8 sensors, 8 opportunities to get robbed, and 8 fixes that cost almost nothing if you catch them early. But here is what I need you to understand. Clean sensors on a neglected engine are still a neglected engine. The fluid maintenance routine underneath all of this is what separates cars that hit 200,000 miles from cars that blow up at 130,000. I have kept my personal truck running past 400,000 miles without a single major internal repair using one specific protocol I do every 90 days. Click the video on your screen right now. I will walk you through the exact process, and it costs less than $15 to do it yourself at home. And before you go, do these 3 things right now. First, hit that subscribe button. Every week I am pulling back the curtain on the exact tricks dealerships and manufacturers use to keep money flowing out of your wallet and into theirs. One video could save you more than your car payment. Second, drop a comment below and tell me, which sensor have you been told to replace that turned out to be a simple cleaning job? I read every single comment and I guarantee you are not alone. Third, share this video with one person you know who just got quoted a repair bill that felt wrong. Because it probably was wrong. And the information in this video could save them thousands of dollars this week. Your car was built to last. The industry just profits when you believe it wasn't. Take care of those connections. Protect that engine. And I will see you in the next one, where we go even deeper on the fuel system lies that are costing American drivers over $14 billion every single year. You do not want to miss that one.